Hi, I'm Ruben Saltzman with Structure Tech Home Inspections, and today I'm going to talk to you about two-piece plumbing vent flashing kits. My home inspection company is located in Minnesota, and during the winters it gets really cold, and we have the potential to have our plumbing vents get frosted shut when you have really long, cold periods of weather. So we have these things called two-piece plumbing vent flashing kits. Now, they're not required, but a lot of the time builders and roofers like to put them on houses. And it's basically, it's a two-piece kit. I'll show you what it looks like. You've got this cap, and then you've got this sleeve for a pipe, and it creates an airspace between this part, the tube that covers it, and the plumbing vent itself. So you would have a plumbing vent that's a little bit smaller. This is actually a vent that's made for a 2-inch pipe. So you can see it's a lot bigger than a 2-inch pipe. This is huge. So that airspace around there is designed to help prevent the pipe from getting frosted shut. That air creates a little insulation layer. So we have these on a lot of houses, and one thing that ends up going wrong with these is the tops, not the top of this one that I'm holding here, but there's a lot of them on the market. I'm not even going to talk about the manufacturer because I'm not trying to sell anybody out here. But the tops on a lot of these are actually made out of lead. They've got galvanized steel coming up, and then they've got this lead piece. And it's a nice design because that lead is a really soft metal. And when you get to the top of the plumbing vent, you can kind of bend that lead into the vent, and you can make a nice tight overlap so you don't get water coming in. But the problem with that is that squirrels get a taste for this lead. The lead apparently tastes sweet. Never tried it myself. This is just what I've heard.
Did you eat a lot of paint chips when you were a kid? Why?
Paint chips apparently used to have lead in them, and they would taste sweet, and kids would eat them, and well, we won't get into all that. But bottom line is, squirrels develop a taste for lead, and they eat away at the lead ring at the tops of these plumbing vents. And that lead ring is what helps prevent water from leaking down the outside of the plumbing vent and then leaking into the house. So we find a lot of those getting literally chewed up. And the fix there is to replace the cap. We've seen people do some pretty cheesy repairs using mastic and caulk and different types of materials. None of that is a good repair. I've even seen people take little vent caps and put them over a plumbing vent. That's not an appropriate repair either. The appropriate repair is to replace your damaged cap. You can order replacement caps that have the lead in them, or you could just buy a whole new plumbing vent and you could replace the cap itself. You don't need to replace the bottom piece of flashing. I mean, once this is installed, it's pretty much good to go. I've never seen anything go wrong with these, but you could just replace the cap by sliding a new one over the top. I will caution you though, this one that I'm holding here that doesn't have a lead cap on it, the manufacturer's installation instructions tell you that you actually need to apply a bead of sealant around the top of your pipe before you slide this down in place. And that's supposed to help prevent leakage. I question whether that's really necessary, but I guess they're the manufacturer, those are their instructions, and who am I to question? I think the vast majority of those installations are going to be lacking that bead of sealant. I can't imagine roofers actually taking the time to read the installation instructions for every one of those and get that little detail right. But do I care? Not really. As long as it's not leaking, that's the important part. So, bottom line is, if you've got a chewed up plumbing vent, two-piece plumbing vent cap, and you got the potential to have leakage coming in, it's not a big deal to fix it. It's a matter of sliding off the old one, getting a new cap, sliding it in place, and maybe applying a little bead of sealant right inside there. That's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. This is Ruben Saltzman with Structure Tech Home Inspections. Take care.